You know that feeling when your Ford just is not running right? Maybe it is a 2015 F-150 that feels sluggish, or a 2018 Escape that is burning through coolant like crazy. Here is what I have learned after rebuilding hundreds of Ford engines. Most performance problems are not engine problems, they are maintenance problems. Whether you have an EcoBoost or a modular V8, your Ford engine is incredibly capable, but it needs specific care to stay healthy. Today, I am walking you through a complete engine refresh checklist that will bring back that new truck feel. No expensive parts, no dealer visits, just smart maintenance that most Ford owners completely ignore. Keep watching, because the last tip alone can prevent a $7,000 engine replacement that Ford will not cover under warranty. Let's dive in. Always change the oil filter when you change your oil. Here is something a lot of folks forget. Changing your oil is only half the job. If you do not change the oil filter as well, you are basically sending clean oil through a dirty sponge. Ford owners need to pay extra attention. You must use Motorcraft oil filters. Part numbers FL820 or FL910 depending on your engine. This is not me being picky. Aftermarket filters often use weak anti-drain valves. When you shut the engine off, oil drains back to the pan. On startup, the engine runs dry for several seconds. That causes cam phaser wear, timing chain stretch, and bearing damage. I have replaced oil pumps damaged by the startup surge when a cheap filter's anti-drain valve failed. The extra $3 for a Motorcraft filter saves thousands in repairs. Don't skip oil changes, but forget what Ford's computer tells you. Your Ford's intelligent oil life monitor is trying to kill your engine. I'm not kidding. Ford programs these systems assuming perfect conditions, highway cruising at steady speeds, moderate temperatures, no towing. That's not how anyone actually drives. Here's the schedule you should follow. For turbocharged EcoBoost engines, change oil every 3,500 to 4,000 miles. Not the 7,500 miles Ford recommends. For naturally aspirated engines, like the 5.0 Coyote Vive 8, change oil every 5,000 miles. For severe duty driving, towing, city driving, or frequent short trips, change oil every 3,000 miles. I tore down a 2.7 EcoBoost at 90,000 miles that religiously followed the intelligent oil monitor. The timing chains were stretched, cam phasers were stuck with sludge, and thick varnish covered the valve train. That engine needed $6,000 in repairs. Use quality synthetic oil, Motorcraft, Mobil 1, or Pennzoil Platinum. Don't use bargain brands. They lack the additives Ford's variable cam timing system needs. Walnut Blast, your EcoBoost intake valves. Every EcoBoost engine, the 1.5 liter, 2.0 liter, 2.3 liter, 2.7 liter, and 3.5 liter, suffers from carbon buildup. The direct injection design makes this worse because fuel never touches the intake valves, leaving massive deposits that fuel additives cannot touch. Here is how to tell your intake valves need cleaning. Jerky starts or stops, jumpy acceleration, worse gas mileage, check engine light, sluggish power, especially on hills. I have pulled intake manifolds off 44,000-mile Rangers that looked like they had been dipped in black tar. The solution is walnut blasting. Do not use other media. Walnut shells are soft enough not to damage valves, but aggressive enough to remove carbon. Harbor Freight sells a decent blaster for $150. You will also need a shop vacuum and a special intake port adapter. If you are comfortable using some basic tools, you could save around $400 to $600 by doing it at home. I recommend doing this at 60,000 miles, then every 50,000 miles after. Here is what most people do not know. Those fuel system cleaners and Italian tune-ups that people swear by do absolutely nothing for direct injection carbon. The fuel sprays directly into the cylinder, never touching the valves. You are wasting your money on additives. Don't ignore the other fluids. Engine oil might get all the attention, but your Ford runs on a whole team of fluids. Coolant is critical for Ford owners, especially if you have a 2015 to 2019 2-liter EcoBoost. EcoBoost engines run hot. The integrated exhaust manifold, twin scroll turbos, and tight packaging create extreme heat. Ford's coolant recommendation of 100,000 miles between flushes is insane for these engines. Coolant breaks down under heat. It loses anti-corrosion properties, becomes acidic, and starts attacking gaskets and seals. Every 30,000 miles, completely flush the cooling system. Use only Motorcraft orange coolant. Never mix coolant types. Green and orange coolants react and form sludge that clogs passages. For transmission fluid, manual Fords usually need new fluid every 30,000 to 50,000 miles. Automatics can often go 60,000 to 80,000 miles. If the fluid looks dark or smells burnt, it is time to swap it. Replace brake fluid every 3 to 5 years. Here is a pro tip most folks miss. Bleed your brakes when changing pads. Open the little valve to let the old fluid out instead of pushing it back into the system. Why? Because that old fluid is dirty and can harm sensitive parts like the ABS module. Don't forget the positive crankcase ventilation valve. This is the most overlooked maintenance item on turbocharged Ford engines. When it works right, you do not notice it. When it fails, oil consumption goes through the roof, and your turbo starts coating itself in sludge. I have seen 2.7 EcoBoosts with 80,000 miles drinking a quart every 1,500 miles because nobody replaced the positive crankcase ventilation valve. Replace it every 50,000 miles. It is usually integrated into the valve cover, and it takes 20 minutes to swap. On turbocharged Fords, also install an aftermarket oil catch can. Quality catch cans from UPR, Mishimoto, or JLT run $150 to $300. I have seen catch cans collect a full cup of oil every 3,000 miles on hard-driven trucks. Empty your catch can at every oil change. Replacing the positive crankcase ventilation valve costs just a few bucks and can save you thousands in engine repairs down the road. Replace your spark plugs on time. Over time, spark plugs wear out, and when they do, your engine can start acting weird, misfiring or shaking. Sluggish acceleration, bad gas mileage, slow starts, rough idling. Most engines need fresh spark plugs around every 30,000 miles, but many newer Ford models use iridium spark plugs that can last up to 100,000 miles. For the 5.4-liter Triton 3-valve engine from 2004 to 2008, spark plug replacement is especially important, but also tricky. These engines are notorious for spark plugs breaking off during removal. If you are doing this yourself, make sure the engine is completely warm when you remove them. Use penetrating oil and let it soak overnight. Remove them very slowly and carefully. If one breaks, you will need a special extraction tool or a trip to the mechanic. Clean the mass airflow sensor and throttle body. The mass airflow sensor keeps track of how much air is going into the engine. If it is dirty, your engine might feel sluggish, waste more gas, or even misfire. Your throttle body accumulates carbon from oil vapor recirculating through the intake. Both cause rough idle, poor throttle response, and even check engine lights. Remove the intake tube and spray the throttle body with CRC throttle body cleaner, not brake cleaner, because brake cleaner damages the coating and seals. For the mass airflow sensor, spray only with CRC mass airflow sensor cleaner. Never touch the sensor elements. Just spray and let it air dry completely for at least an hour. The entire job takes 15 minutes and costs $15. Clean these components every 20,000 miles or once a year. Check your serpentine belt. Address timing issues early on 5.4 Triton engines. The serpentine belt connects your engine to the alternator, the power steering pump, and the air conditioning compressor. Look for cracks, splits, or shiny worn spots. Listen for squealing noises when you start the engine. Most serpentine belts last 60,000 to 100,000 miles. Now, if you own a 2004 to 2008 F-150 with the 5.4-liter 3-valve Triton engine, listen up. The cold start rattle you ignore will destroy your engine. That distinctive diesel-like rattle on cold starts is your cam phasers failing. Check your oil pressure with a mechanical gauge. You need at least 30 pounds per square inch, hot at idle. If you are below that, a timing job will not save you. If pressure is good but the rattle persists, it is time for the full timing service. This includes both cam phasers, both timing chains, all tensioners, all guides, and the Melling M360HV high-volume oil pump. Here is the truth about parts. Use only Motorcraft or Ford Performance Cam phasers and chains. I have replaced 3 timing jobs done with Dorman or Cloyes kits that failed in under 20,000 miles. The complete job costs $2,000 to $3,500 if you pay a shop, but it prevents an $8,000 engine replacement. But wait, is maintenance alone enough? Even perfect maintenance can't protect your engine if you drive it rough. One of the best ways to keep your Ford engine running like new is simply by changing the way you drive. Be gentle during the break-in period. If you have a new Ford, avoid speeding or hard acceleration for the first 1,000 miles. Keep the revolutions per minute low. Proper break-in helps seal piston rings and reduce long-term oil burning. Warm up the smart way on cold days. Start the engine, wait about 30 seconds, and then drive gently. Ford's modern engines are designed to warm up more efficiently while driving, not idling. This is especially critical for turbocharged engines. Cold oil can't protect turbo bearings. Drive softly for the first 5 to 10 miles. Keep revolutions per minute under 3,000 and avoid hard acceleration. Ease off the pedal. High speeds force your engine to work double time. At 70 miles per hour, your engine is using almost twice the power compared to cruising at 50 to 55 miles per hour. That means more heat, more fuel, and more wear. Don't overload your truck. Before towing, always check your owner's manual for your Ford's maximum towing capacity. Clean out the bed. Extra weight makes your engine work harder. Listen to your engine. Your Ford doesn't just break down out of nowhere. It gives you signs if you're paying attention. Watch for dashboard warning lights. Get them scanned early. Weird noises like knocking, ticking, hissing, or squealing all mean something. Burning smells often signal overheating or oil leaks. For turbocharged engines, let them cool down before shutting off. After hard driving or towing, idle for 30 seconds before turning the key off. Address problems early, and they stay small and affordable. Your Ford's EcoBoost or modular engine is designed to last. Give it proper maintenance, quality fluids, and smart driving habits, and it will reward you with hundreds of thousands of reliable miles. These tips aren't just suggestions. They're the difference between a Ford that runs like new at 200,000 miles and one that needs a $7,000 engine replacement at 100,000 miles. I have seen both outcomes too many times. The choice is yours. Found this video helpful? Then be sure to watch the next video where we are sharing insider tips to help you cut repair costs and keep your truck running like new.